Welcome back to our biomass class, where we're delving deeper into the fascinating world of conversion of biomass resources into heat and power. This video was made with the support of InnoEnergy. Remember that this biomass energy course has 9 lessons. Lesson 8 is about legislation and regulatory frameworks. The objective of this video is to introduce you in the regulations that must fulfill a biomass project. We will address the following questions. What is a regulatory framework? What do we need to know it? What are the main topics for a biomass facility? Let's start with some definitions. There are many approaches for the definition of a regulatory framework. We focus here on a framework for designing, building, and operating a biomass-to-energy facility. In this scenario, the regulatory framework refers to the set of documents detailing the regulation of the industrial activity. Let's study this pyramid in detail. An act is a means by which laws are made by a parliament. Therefore, they configure the enabling legislation. Regulations are not made by the parliament, but rather by someone to whom a parliament has delegated the authority to make them. This is the regulatory authority. Regulatory documents generally include a set of requirements to be fulfilled. Requirements are mandatory and must be met by any company wishing to obtain a license to build or to operate a facility. Guidance provides direction on how to meet requirements. In the framework of the European Union, a regulation is a legal act of the European Union that becomes immediately enforceable as law in all member states simultaneously. In general, directives need to be transposed into national law. Regulations can be adopted by means of a variety of legislative procedures, depending on their subject matter. Let's move to next question.
Why do we need to know the regulations?
First, because the facility design must fulfill legal requirements in order to be properly authorized and to operate legally. Second, to understand the costs and time required to complete the procedures that need to be followed. Finally, what are the main topics for a biomass facility? You must investigate about regulations about emissions for combustion plants. Look for the national laws that transpose the European Directive 2015/2193 on the limitation of emissions of certain pollutants into the air from medium combustion plants. Regulations about energy efficiency. Directive 2012/27/EU of the European Parliament and of the Council of October 25, 2012 on energy efficiency. The transposition of this European directive can be made in different ways. For instance, though national regulations that establish the conditions that must be met by facilities designed to meet the demand for space comfort and hygiene through heating. You can also look for regulations set by municipalities about energy efficiency and the use of renewable energy. Regulations about CHP systems. Directive 2004/8/EC of the European Parliament and of the Council of February 11, 2004 on the promotion of cogeneration based on a useful heat demand in the internal energy market. For equipment suppliers. CE marking and energy labeling. The CE marking is the manufacturer's declaration that the product meets the requirements of the applicable EC directives. For energy labeling, look for the Commission Delegated Regulation (EU) 2015/1187 with regard to energy labeling of solid fuel boilers and packages of a solid fuel boiler, supplementary heaters, temperature controls, and solar devices. For biomass suppliers. Regulation (EU) No. 995/2010 of the European Parliament and of the Council of October 20, 2010 laying down the obligations of operators who place timber and timber products on the market. Other issues that can provide added value to your business, like sustainability. Directive (EU) 2018/2001 of the European Parliament and of the Council of December 11, 2018 on the promotion of the use of energy from renewable sources. Article 29. Sustainability and greenhouse gas emissions saving criteria for biofuels, bioliquids, and biomass fuels. Wrapping up. There are a number of regulations you need to know and to take into account when designing a biomass facility. In the European Union, most of them are a national transposition of EU directives. Now, it is time for you to investigate which of them apply to your biomass project.